Hey everyone, it's Rose Crystal, and we are back with another Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc episode. Last time we had quite the interesting episode last time, because Monokuma revealed to us that this entire game was just a show for the outside world. And, well, the participants didn't take it too well, we didn't take it too well, because, well, now we know this is all just TV, entertainment. And, well, that was not all we've learned, but we also learned what we think Kyoko might be the victim, and that we are the only ones without an alibi, so that's very, very bad. But we're hoping to change things around in this class trial, so without any further ado, let's begin. Whoa, Kyakuya and Makoto showed up together. Where the heck can you two been? You just disappeared out of the word. We're investigating, of course. How could you not figure that out by this point? Makoto's ranked high enough for you guys to go off together? Just two of you? Huh? What, are you jealous?
Hey!
Or are you making some kind of creepy fantasy for yourself?
What?
Stop talking and brace yourselves, we'll be here any minute. Any second. You could show up at any time. When I imagine what was about to happen, I made attempts to prepare myself. But we stood there for 5 full minutes, waiting for something weird to happen. Then 5 minutes became 10.
Why?
What's going on? Why isn't Monokuma showing up yet?
Could it be?
Maybe he died again? What should we do? Should we keep waiting here, or what?
What?
No, did I scare you?
Come on.
I demand explanation. Why do you waste your time making me wait like that? What, I made you wait? You got it all backwards. You're the ones making me wait. Huh?
In other words...
I'm waiting for everyone to arrive. We can't stop boys. Start till everyone's here now, can't we? What are you talking about? Everyone is here. We've all been waiting for you. Sorry, but you're wrong. I've waited 10 minutes now. Let's get it. Punish the one making us all wait, right? If he agrees to violation, I'll arrange a punishment right now. If it's me you're waiting for, I'm here. Wait, who's that? When we heard that voice, I spun around to look.
Hey.
Oh, yes! Oh, she's alive! I'm here, and no rules been broken. Kyoko! Kyoko, you're still alive? No, that's a ghost! Stop talking. You want to fight, do it, got shot, and you see something fun for later, right?
What?
That's okay, there's no particular penalty to being late.
Is that right?
I made here just fine. What school regulations did I violate? Am I right? You're so selfish, so spoiled. You're right, there's no penalty officially if we all deal with sorry later. No, I'll make sure you're sorry later. Anyway, I'll see you busting the elevator. We're just one step ahead of you. When Monokuma was gone, we all rushed up to Kyoko. Kyoko! You really didn't die?
Indeed.
Of course I didn't die. Thank God, I'm so glad you're okay. Perhaps that's not necessarily a good thing for us. Huh? These are not gonna deal with ghosts. I told you stop talking.
Let's go.
Come on, let's just go. Whatever you're discussing and do it during the trial. But ever looking directly at Kyoko, Yaku stepped into the elevator. Master, wait for me! Who knows what might happen if you wait if you take too long. I'll be happy when this trial is all over. One after another, everyone piled into the elevator. But I couldn't help myself. I had to talk to Kyoko before the trial started. I'm sorry for my overreaction like that. Dude. Kyoko, it's been forever. Where have you been? Listen, before we get started, I have to ask you. Where have you been this whole time? That's what I want to know. That's what everyone out here, that's what everyone else watching this video wants to know. You used that key of yours to go somewhere, didn't you?
Correct.
So, I went to investigate the second floor of the dorms. Second floor?
That's right.
There aren't any monitors or cameras there, so they were able to avoid Monokuma completely. Of course, I was in this announcement because of that.
Whew.
I had no idea how a body had been discovered. Then when did you find out?
So...
Just now, I finished the search and came back down just time near the class trial announcement. I took some time to go over the crime scene first. I can't go to a trial completely uninformed, can I? So that's why you're late.
However...
I'm sorry I kept you all waiting. But if you were on the second floor of the dorms, and that's the key you found goes to?
Wrong.
Actually, to be precise, not quite.
In other
I used
words...
Monokuma's secret tool, which would open up any lock in this school. What? Oh...
Just a second!
Hey, what are you doing? Hurry before we get in trouble with Monokuma.
Makoto.
We can go over the details after we get to the trial, okay, Makoto? Right now, I'm trying to focus on surviving our current situation.
It would seem...
This is probably the most crucial moment so far for me. For her? That's a strange way to put it. Class trial is important for everyone, right? So why did you say it's a crucial moment for her?
Goodbye.
Well, if that's all. Seems seemingly unconcerned, Kyoko made her way to the elevator. Just overthinking what you said, right? Being the last one left, I stepped into the elevator. And the door slid shut. This time, the plumbing was loud enough to hurt my ears, and the driving near into a consuming once again. I can't imagine ever get used to the mental pressure that comes from preparing for an execution. silent and still. After a measurable period of time, the doors opened without moving. It hasn't penetrated every depth of my eyes. It wasn't illuminated the light of hope. It was the blinding light of despair.
I can't wait! I can't wait!
I've been waiting for this. I feel like it's been far since we got to like this type of British jokes and jabs in the past.
Thrills! Chills! Kills!
Let's get on with the show! And so it occurred over the fifth time. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal, a deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly fate, a deadly last trial! Alright, let's set some skills if we have some, which I don't think we do. Wait, yeah, lost in thought. Yeah, we're gonna need that. I don't know why I didn't pick it up earlier. Memories float back. Kyoko is gone, and a mysterious masked body appears. The threads holding them all together begin to spin and entwine into one. Well, Kyoko's right here, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Let's begin with a basic If you can figure out
who
done it, then I'll punish everyone Okay, well, I'll leave the rest up to you.
Well then, let's discuss the specifics of the victim. First, we need to clarify who exactly the unidentified victim is.
It's Kyoko! There's no other explanation.
Are you kidding me? Did you not just see her appear next to us?
But Kyoko's standing right there.
There you go!
No! That's a ghost!
Says the person in the occult.
But she has legs and stuff.
Well, that's just because she's like the latest evolution in ghost technology!
There's a limit to how much ridiculousness I can tolerate.
Same here.
Okay. So I just have to prove that the corpse isn't Kyoko, right? Then let's compare Kyoko's traits to the traits of the dead body.
Her traits?
One part Kyoko has the body, it doesn't belong to her. It's her gloves.
I got it! I'm talking about her gloves. They'll give us some insight into the mystery. I'm sure of it.
In that case, I think it would be helpful if someone explained why she actually wears those gloves.
And would you happen to know the answer?
In fact, Monokuma told me. Apparently you have scars on your hands you don't want anyone to see.
Oh! You know, now that I think about it, the corpse wasn't wearing any gloves, right?
They probably just got burnt up in the explosion.
How stubborn can you be?
I'm not convinced. The ghost is just trying to fool us all.
You realize our lives are at stake, right? No, the corpse is Kyoko, but I can't prove I'm gonna be stuck here in case it moves forward. We don't have any other choice but to. Debate time! Because again...
That Kyoko there is just a ghost!
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it! Prove she's not a ghost!
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion!
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion?
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves. Because that corpse is absolutely Kyoko!
Okay, I was looking at
This entire discussion is idiotic.
Thank you, Byakuya, for saying what I was thinking. The body's going to prove it.
That Kyoko... Okay, then prove
The dead body
they got burnt up!
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion?
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves.
No, fake nails.
No, it's wrong.
You can't wear gloves with fake nails on. Trust me, I've tried.
No. There's no way the corpse was wearing gloves. Whoever it was, they were wearing fake nails, remember? I imagine trying to wear gloves over nails like that would have been a pretty big pain.
Yeah, one of my friends have fake nails, and they tried wearing gloves, and it was painful. Do not do that, okay? It doesn't work.
Besides, Kyoko wears gloves to hide her hands, right? It'd be pretty weird for someone who's self-conscious about their hands to wear fake nails, don't you think?
Jeez, man, you don't know women, huh? They're complicated like that.
If anyone doesn't know women, it's you.
Well, Kyoko, any thoughts?
These gloves were custom made to the size of my hands to make sure they don't interfere with my daily life. If I wore fake nails, the gloves wouldn't fit properly.
Then that's that. The dead body doesn't belong to Kyoko.
Which should have been obvious since she's standing right here.
Okay, so then, who's the real victim? First, we need to figure that out.
which is what we were doing before you interrupted us.
That's the first thing I said. You're the one who's been dragging us around in circles.
Warning us to identify the victim. Everything starts from there. Alright, now can we actually get on with what we were doing, please?
If Kyoko really is still alive,
Which she is.
then who died?
There's gotta be some way to figure it out.
I don't think so. The face was scorched beyond recognition. And there wasn't any description in the Monokuma file.
Well, if we can't identify the body...
Yep, there we go.
No, that's wrong.
Because there is a way to identify the body.
There was one clue left behind that we can use to identify the body.
What? For real?
If you're lying, you'll die a cruel and unusual death.
Oh, an unusual death. This I gotta see.
It's happened for 5 chapters now.
She's just being stupid. Ignore them, Makoto. Tell us what you're talking about.
The key to figuring out who it was is the tattoo on the back of her hand.
Oh, yeah. The design's pretty strange, huh? Is this a dog?
Her master must have made her get it. To be like, you're my bitch.
Seriously? We really did something that humiliating?
No, that's not it. The identity of the victim is hidden within that tattoo.
Oh, really?
We can cut a tattoo of information you should have, and the victim identity should become clear. And that is Mukuro Ikusaba.
I got it! The Fenrir Mercenary Corps. That's the name of the military group Mukuro Ikusaba belonged to.
Okay, so...
To show that they're a member of the team, each soldier that joins the squad would get a tattoo representing Fenrir somewhere on their body.
Fenrir?
Which that represents Fenrir is... Done.
Now I understand. The representation of Fenrir is a wolf.
Fenrir, the Wolf of Ragnarok. It's from Norse mythology. A huge, world-ending wolf beast. He's the child of the trickster god Loki, and a female giant.
Man! After all this time, we finally got a glimpse of the literary all-star.
A wolf tattoo. And that means...
Exactly. The body we found had a tattoo of a wolf, which means that person must have once belonged to Fenrir. So it must have been Mukuro.
What?
Hold on. Isn't she the one that was behind this whole thing?
You sound surprised, but you're absolutely right. Yes, indeed. The trial this time is to solve the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba.
Are you saying the mastermind is dead? And now we have to have a last trial?
No. It means we were wrong in thinking that Mukuro was the mastermind at all.
Because again, if Monokuma is not active, it means the mastermind is not dead.
But I mean, being the ultimate despair seems like a pretty mastermindy title to me.
Maybe we shouldn't have been thinking of her as the ultimate despair in the first place. After all, looking at her profile, I didn't see anything that would fit such a description. All it said was that she was the ultimate soldier. If I remember correctly, that other information came from Kyoko. That's what you told Makoto, right?
So that means Kyoko got it wrong?
And who was she? Who was Mukuro Ikusaba? She's been gone this whole time? And when she finally turns up, she gets killed.
Usually when there's a scene where an important character dies, it has a lot more detail.
True.
So you're saying she wasn't an important character, which would mean she was the same as us. Just another participant.
Then who's the real mastermind?
It must have been the Hope's Peak Academy headmaster after all.
No, the headmaster has nothing to do with it.
But how can we trust that? We already know your information about Mukuro was wrong.
My information was not wrong.
Okay. We're in the middle of a trial right now. Figuring out who killed Mukuro is first and foremost. Please limit all future prattle, chatter, and chit-chat as much as possible.
Fine. Uncovering the identity of the mastermind will have to wait. But remember this, no matter what happens, we will find out who you really are. I stake my family name on it.
I have officially decided to completely ignore all such attempts at provocation. Now then, just so nobody's confused, let me state this one more time for the record.
You can hear the frustration in his voice as he says that.
The reason we're having a class trial is because a murder among the students has taken place. Hammer that point straight into your big ol' brain!
What you're saying is that both the victim and the culprit are part of the student body?
Then, one of us killed Mukuro?
Wait, no! There's a chance that there's some mystery 17th person who's been hiding all along!
Nope! There are only 16 students in total that have been taking part in these events.
Seriously? Then, one of us killed Mukuro?
Who did it? Who's the killer this time?
Get a hold of yourself. We've already narrowed down the list of possible suspects.
Oh, that's not good. Huh?
I'm sure you realize who I'm talking about, right, Makoto? Who the evidence points to?
There's only 2 suspects. Me and Kyoko.
You've narrowed it down to Kyoko and me, right?
Why do you say that?
Allow me to explain. Just after nighttime last night, I went to the garden. So I can confirm that at that point, there was no dead body there. So, the murder must have taken place after I left the garden. However, Hiro, Toko, Hina, and I were in the gym the entire time.
The gym?
That's right. The 4 of us were there trying to dismantle Monokuma. The whole time, we were very careful not to go anywhere alone. We even went to the bathroom in pairs. All of which is to say, the 4 of us all have alibis. The only ones without alibis
Are me and Makoto. That's why you're able to narrow down the list of suspects.
Oh, this is not good. Not good at all.
Exactly so.
Unless it's now are me and Kyoko. Damn it, I can't understand, so I have to clear my name.
I have something I'd like to say regarding the whole alibi thing.
Are you thinking of raising an objection?
Yes.
Well, before that, I just want to try and get a better idea of what time the murder took place. Doing that might reveal some kind of clue.
Whatever you want. Somebody go ahead and help him out.
Me and Byakuya can both confirm that the body wasn't in the garden at, well, it was after nighttime for sure. I'd say it must have been around 10 o'clock. So the murder must have happened after 10 p.m.
Then I guess we can say the time frame for the murder was between then and when we found the body? Oh, but what time did we find the body?
The one who saw the body first was Toko, right? And she went to go get the pickaxe.
Hang on. I'll be right back. Oh crap, wait, there's a choice here. 9 o'clock.
I got it! The body must have been discovered at 9 a.m., since that's when Toko went to get the pickaxe.
Alright, but seriously, I'm gonna be right back. Sorry. Seriously, there's more. Okay, goodness. Toko, what time is it? Alright, I'm back. Now then, Toko, what time is it? Unless the chance is 9 o'clock, so probably 9 on the dot now. Okay then, go get the pickaxe and he's back here by 9:01.
He's right. It had to be around then.
So we can be totally sure the murder happened sometime between 10 at night and 9 in the morning.
For me, I was already asleep before nighttime hit, so I don't have an alibi after 10 o'clock. But I'm sure I met up with everyone else before 9 this morning.
We ran into each other in the dining hall, right? That was around... Oh yeah! Right around 7:30. I remember checking right before I went in, so I'm totally sure about it.
So before 9 o'clock. I am.
Which means from 10 p.m. to 7:30 a.m., you don't have an alibi.
What happened to 10 p.m. and 9 a.m.? I don't know, that's from 10 p.m. to 7:30 a.m. It looks like the game has begun. If I can prove an alibi, I can't provide an alibi for that period. And I said to prove the murder didn't happen at the time I didn't know, I don't have an alibi. To do that, I can make it clear when the body ends up in the garden. Here we go!
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night.
Are you sure? It's wrong!
Actually, the murder couldn't have happened anywhere near 10 o'clock. It had to have taken place way later.
And what makes you say that?
Because of the sprinklers in the garden. The sprinklers are set to go off right at 7:30 every morning, right? So if the body had been in the garden before 7:30, then it should have been completely soaked.
Oh, hold on. I remember this part perfectly. The body was wet. Dripping wet, in fact.
Sorry, Toko, but you're wrong.
I'm wrong? How? Are you saying only the mouth down south was wet? How dare you spew such indecent words!
That has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
No, I'm saying that the body was wet, but not because of the sprinklers.
What do you mean by denying the sprinkler? Are you trying to deny my entire existence?
Man, you're totally wacko.
If you really think it wasn't the sprinkler, you'd better tell us why!
But if it wasn't because I got the body wet, all I should have said Toko would turn evidence and I should do it. Look at the body itself, that should make it clear. Yeah, that's right, because she was genocide back, so I don't blame her for her memory not carrying over, but it was not the sprinkler.
I admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no! I don't know anything! Hold on! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no! I don't know anything! Hold on! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no! I don't know anything! How can you say it wasn't the fish?
Because of the endless on the body.
Just remember what the body was like after the explosion, and you'll see why it wasn't the sprinklers.
Okay.
The top half of the body was wet, yes, but the bottom half was completely dry. If the sprinklers got the body wet, shouldn't the whole body have been wet?
So they only got the top wet? The bottom was completely dry? What a fertile maniac!
I'm so sick of her.
Let's just move on. The reason only the top half was wet was because while the body was still on fire, I doused it with water. But only the part on fire, the top half.
Oh, then I guess the sprinklers really didn't do it.
So if the sprinklers didn't get the body wet, then the murder must have taken place sometime after the sprinklers turned on at 7:30 in the morning.
Which means she must have been killed sometime between then and when the body was discovered at 9.
But Makoto's alibi was only missing from 10 o'clock last night to 7:30 this morning, right?
So there's no way Makoto could have done it. I guess you had an alibi after all. Good for you.
In which case, the only one left without an alibi is Kyoko.
Oh no. Kyoko's no longer an alibi. But you know what Mukuro's killer is? No, I refuse to believe it. Kyoko murdered someone? That's...
I'd just like to say one thing. If you vote for me, and I die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever.
But if we get it wrong, we all die.
Which is why I can't let that happen.
So are you saying you're not the culprit?
Of course I'm not. I have no reason to kill anyone. This is a trap the mastermind has laid for us.
A trap?
We're this far into the game and now you decide to blame me? Stop wasting time! Stop wasting energy! You really think your little trick is gonna work?
Shut up, you!
You got it, boss! Shutting up now!
Anyway, Kyoko, you actually did have a reason to kill her.
Huh? She did?
She thought Mukuro was the ultimate despair. In other words, the mastermind behind everything. So she killed her to try and put a stop to all this. Isn't that right, Kyoko? But you made one catastrophic mistake. Mukuro wasn't the mastermind at all, and as a result, we were forced into another trial. Something I'm sure you weren't at all expecting.
So, that was her motive?
If she had a motive and no alibi, well then, I think it's pretty clear Kyoko's gotta be the culprit.
No, she's not.
I'm not the only one without an alibi. Makoto's explanation is still insufficient.
You little snitch.
Huh?
The sprinklers didn't get the body wet, but that doesn't mean the murder happened when he said it did.
What are you...
Yeah, what the heck are you doing?
Because you see, there is a way the body could have avoided getting wet.
Interesting. I'm listening.
All it would take is covering the body with a certain something to keep it from getting wet.
It's hard.
I got it! You're talking about the tarp, aren't you?
You catch on quick. You're right. All you'd have to do is cover the body with the tarp, and that'd take care of the water. In fact, that's exactly what the killer did. The dirt pattern on the tarp can attest to that. Only one side of the tarp got dirty, because that's the side that got covered in water. The side that faced down over the body, meanwhile, kept perfectly clean. This proves that the killer used the tarp to keep the body from getting soaked.
But why would they go to all that effort just to keep the body from getting wet?
Most likely so they could cloud the issue of when the murder actually took place. In other words, to create an excuse exactly like the one Makoto just gave us.
Stop it! You're gonna get us executed! Why would Kyoko say that? Why would you want to look like the killer? No, I can't think about that right now. That thought. If it was used the way Kyoko said, the tarp must touch the body, right? It could have gotten bloody! But the body...
Wait. Something's not right.
And what might that be?
I can't worry about Kyoko's motivations. If I don't do something, everyone's gonna become the killer. I have to repeat what Kyoko said.
By covering the body with the tarp, the killer prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side is because the sprinkler got that side wet.
But the underside of the tarp...
Oh, we're in the debate now. Cool.
Right?
It's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty!
No. If you remember the body from the explosion, it was still covered in blood. Fresh blood.
Actually, one side being clean is pretty strange if you think about it. Because the blood wasn't dry before the body got blown up, right? Byakuya said it himself. Not to touch it, or you might get some on you. If you put a tarp on a body in that state, it absolutely would have gotten blood on it.
Well, maybe the culprit washed it, so nobody would know they'd used it.
If they had, they would have washed both sides. Just washing the one side wouldn't hide anything.
Oh! Yeah, true.
More than that, what if the very blood we saw on the body was meant as a kind of camouflage?
Blood was camouflage?
What if, after the killer used the tarp to avoid the sprinkler, they then covered the body in blood that didn't belong to the victim?
You mean someone else's blood? Where would they get something like that?
I know! They could have grabbed some of the blood packs from the nurse's office. That's what Hifumi did, right? When he pretended to be dead?
No, that's not what happened this time. The killer got the blood from right there in the garden.
That blood makes an advantage, what you mean? They killed one of the chickens!
I got it!
Monster!
Could it have been chicken blood?
What? Chicken blood?
When I checked the chicken coop before the murder, there were 5 chickens. But after the murder, there were only 4.
So, you're saying someone killed a chicken? And then covered the body with its blood?
I would laugh so hard if I felt like a little X-portrait of a chicken. Yeah, they're part of this game too.
Man, that's messed up!
Killing a living thing just to do something like that is awful. They should have at least eaten it.
It's still killing it though.
I wonder if the killer had to get the blood from the scene so they wouldn't be spotted walking around. Anyway, there's no denying that a chicken went missing, which provides a basis for my theory.
Perhaps, but even so, there's one thing that still doesn't make sense. You said the culprit used the tarp to avoid the water and then covered the body in blood, right? But if that's the case, then the blood should have soaked into the ground around the body. But that's not what we saw. Only the victim's clothing had blood on it. The ground was completely clean.
I have to agree, that certainly is strange. Maybe they didn't apply the blood at the scene. Maybe they covered the coat in blood beforehand.
They covered it beforehand?
When you discovered the body, was it wearing the coat like you normally would?
I think so.
Well, no,
Wait,
see, look.
No, the head was through the neck hole, but the arms weren't in the sleeves.
You can see it right there.
Then that settles it.
Sorry, I'm having a tough time keeping up. What settles what?
Here's what happened. The murder took place before the sprinklers went off, but the body didn't get wet because the killer covered it with the tarp. Then, later, at the same time the killer was gathering up the tarp, they pulled the coat over the body. The coat they'd already covered in blood. This series of cover-ups was meant to disguise the actual time the murder occurred. They wanted us to think the murder happened sometime after the sprinklers had gone off, at 7:30.
If that's actually what took place, it certainly becomes possible that the murder happened earlier.
But to pull all that off, wouldn't they have had to go back to the garden after the sprinklers turned off?
That actually wouldn't have been all that difficult.
Huh?
They already had the coat ready, so they just had to grab the tarp and pull the coat over the body. They'd be done in no time.
Maybe, but still.
Hina, after you met up with Makoto in the dining hall, did you two stay together from that point on?
Oh no. I headed off to the gym, and Makoto didn't show up till later.
No, I followed you.
Then he had plenty of time to spare, wouldn't you say?
That's not...
No, that is not what happened.
Don't bother saying it's not possible.
I must admit, Kyoko's reasoning is sound. Makoto's alibi is inadequate.
My suspicion falls back on me again. But why? Why is Kyoko trying to entrap me? I don't understand. Alright, there's another truth bullet for us.
Well then, it looks like we're back to square one. Makoto's alibi is no good, so once again, our suspects are him and Kyoko.
For serious, man? Which one of them did it? Hey, why don't we let luck decide? Let's flip a coin. 50-50 odds.
Oh!
See? Pretty good idea, right?
No, not that. I just remembered something super serious.
Well, don't just stand there. Out with it.
You know that knife we found all black and burnt?
Aw, crap.
The one we found stuck in the body before it exploded, right? According to the Monokuma file, the knife went all the way through, from front to back. So, what about it?
I'm pretty sure I'd seen that knife somewhere before. That's what I thought when I first saw it. I just remembered.
Listen, more important, now that I have the knife, what are we gonna do with it? We can't let Togo keep it, that's for sure, and we don't know what she might do. I don't want it anyway. So what to do? Why don't you hang on to it, Makoto? Huh, me?
It's the knife we gave to Makoto?
You don't seem surprised. You must have noticed earlier.
Yeah,
Then why did you hide that fact?
it's not that I hid it. It's just...
I couldn't be sure of what actually happened last night. I thought maybe I really did kill her.
Suspicious! Very suspicious indeed. The knife we found stuck in the body came from Makoto. Now I'm totally convinced he did it. 12,000% convinced.
Considering everything up till now, I should be able to make it clear. I have to prove I didn't murder anyone. I'm not a killer!
The knife we found lodged in the dead body.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, then that seals it. Makoto did it.
Just because I had the knife once? That automatically makes me the killer?
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, right?
No.
No, that's wrong.
Talked about that.
Wait, hold on. The stab wound isn't what killed Mukuro. That should be clear from the description of the cover-up we just heard.
Lies! We never talked about what killed her.
No, don't you remember? The killer covered the dead body with the tarp, and then put the bloody coat on it. right?
Yes.
In other words, the victim never wore that blood-stained coat until after they were dead.
Okay, fine. So what?
So, when we discovered the body, the knife had been thrust through the coat along with the body. Meaning, if she wasn't stabbed until the coat was put on, and she was already dead at that point, obviously the stab wound isn't what killed her.
Alright, let me save again. Because we're doing this class trial all in one take, all in one attempt. No part 1, no part 2, no nothing. Let's go.
Maybe you stabbed her twice. Once to kill her and once to cover it up.
Then there'd be 2 stab wounds. There's no step away from me, so there's no way that's not exactly what my body's written down for everyone to see. And that's in the Monokuma file.
I got it! The Monokuma file clearly states that there was only 1 stab wound.
Oh yeah, it sure did. Totally forgot about that.
Then the knife
Was just another piece of camouflage set up by the true killer. They probably stabbed her to draw attention away from what actually killed her. Exploding the body afterward was probably meant to do the same thing. The explosion severely damaged the body, making it impossible to know what really killed her. It was all the killer's attempt to destroy all evidence of their crime.
So they wanted us to notice the stab wound and then detonated the body afterward. They meant for us to latch onto the knife as the cause of death, then destroy any evidence proving otherwise.
Oh, hey, I have a question. It kind of goes back to the beginning, but what's the deal with that explosion anyway? Why'd the body just blow up all of a sudden like that?
If you bothered to put that lump of gray matter between your ears to use, you'd know the answer.
Well, if you're so smart, just tell me.
I'll tell you. I bet some unknown quantum particle caused an atomic-level spontaneous combustion!
I might be dumb, but even I'm not dumb enough to believe that.
Go ahead, Makoto. Tell her or we won't make any headway on this.
There's only one explanation for the explosion. And that's the fragments we found earlier. Because they are part of a bomb.
After the explosion, we found a tiny fragment of something on the ground near the body, right? That fragment reveals the cause of the explosion.
Huh? You know, I feel like I've seen something like it somewhere before.
That's only natural, because of course, we saw the same thing when we dismantled Monokuma. It's part of a bomb.
Oh! Then the explosion was because of the Monokuma bomb.
Anyway, the culprit's motive is becoming more and more obvious by the minute. They wanted the knife wound to look like the fatal injury so that we'd suspect Makoto. And the only one who would benefit from that is the only other possible suspect. You, Kyoko.
Hold on a second, Byakuya.
What's the problem?
Well, I just feel like we need to think this through. We still don't know what actually killed the victim.
That's true. It's definitely bugging me. What really killed her?
Fine. I have no problem with that. Let us continue the debate. It won't change the facts of the case regardless.
We need to determine what ultimately killed the victim. We need to concentrate. Alright, do flashback time.
Then shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure. I guess.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't me because of the knife, right? And then there's only one other thing.
Oh yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
Oh.
Shoot!
Oh, okay. No, that's not good.
Then shall we continue? The victim's fatal.
The explosion didn't kill her.
Well, yeah.
And it wasn't me then.
Oh yeah. That's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
Knife is covered. Relatively ones in the body, not fresh. Only these.
Then shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined.
No!
Alright. That's the only thing I can come to.
Mukuro died because of the blow to the back of the head she suffered.
What about the wounds all over the rest of her body? They didn't have anything to do with it?
The Monokuma file makes it clear that those weren't fresh wounds.
Oh yeah, good point. If they were old, I guess they don't really...
Okay, then we're safe in assuming the blow to the back of her head is what killed her.
But then, what was the murder weapon? The Monokuma file says she was hit with a blunt object, about as thick as a metal pipe.
Oh! I bet it was the pickaxe!
How is that even possible? If you hit someone with that, it'd cave their skull in completely.
Well, maybe they held it the other way and hit her with the handle.
No way! The balance would be all off. You wouldn't be able to swing it with any kind of power. I wouldn't mind testing it on you if you want.
No thanks. I bet you just hit me with the metal end and call it an accident.
I'd love to scoop out that nasty brain of yours, throw it on the ground and spit on it.
I feel the same way! Looks like we're on the same page this time.
Seriously?
We want to figure out what killed her, right? It just so happens we already know.
We already know? I knew we could count on you, Master!
So what was it?
Go ahead and tell them, Makoto. Surely you've deduced the real murder weapon?
Okay. It doesn't look good for you, Kyoko.
I got it! Mukuro was hit in the back of the head with something, and that's what killed her. And that something was the titanium arrow we found in the locker in the dojo.
Arrow? That's what the culprit attacked Mukuro with?
Indeed. There's no doubt about it.
Are you sure? That sounds kinda weird.
Hey! How dare you backtalk, Master! You have no right!
I'm not back-talking anything. I'm just saying what I think.
Definitely mean if I got it. Just one more thing about that weapon. One more secret.
The titanium arrow. It was in the dojo locker, right? I have no doubt that was the murder weapon.
Are you sure?
You don't sound convinced. What's the problem?
Well, because in the Monokuma file, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right? It seems like an arrow would just be too thin.
Well, that's it. It's definitely possible. Because you can bound all the arrows together.
You're right. Just the one arrow would have been too weak. That's why the killer used another weapon.
Another weapon?
Inside the dojo locker, we also found a balled-up wad of duct tape. The killer probably uses duct tape to bind multiple arrows together. Bundling them together using the duct tape would easily create a single weapon as thick as a pipe. And that's exactly what the killer did.
It's similar to Aesop's fable about the bundle of sticks. One stick is weak, but put them together, and they become strong. It's meant to teach cooperation.
Damn, that's harsh.
How is it harsh? Did you even listen?
Anyway, that explains the murder weapon. As for who the culprit is that stashed the weapon in the dojo locker, it was you, Kyoko.
I've never been to the dojo.
Oh no, you absolutely have.
How can you say that with such confidence?
Because we have proof, of course. Don't we, Makoto?
Oh no.
What's the matter? Surely you don't intend to protect a murderer. You know what will happen if you do, don't you? If you cover for the culprit, there's only one thing that can lead to the death of us all. Remember?
Of course I remember.
Then show us. Show everyone the evidence that proves Kyoko went to the dojo.
I have evidence? Evidence that Kyoko went to the dojo. I'm just gonna see that dojo locked it. I don't want to do this to her.
The one thing that proves Kyoko was in the dojo is right here. The key to the dojo locker.
And how does that prove anything?
Because I found it in your room.
It was in my room?
Don't bother trying to play dumb. That key is just the final piece of the puzzle. Your non-existent alibi, your clear motive, your attempts to frame Makoto for the crime. This all proves that you are the true culprit. You can't explain this away, so just give up.
Hold on a second.
Not this again. You really are dead set on defending her, aren't you?
No, It's not that I want to defend her. It's just there's one more thing I need to ask her. Kyoko, I want you to tell me something. Last night, you were in my room, weren't you? Why? What were you doing there? That's what I need to know.
I was just protecting you.
What?
What?
Same here. She was protecting me. Then does that mean she... No! She knew I was being attacked. And she came to my rescue. No! No! No, 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 no. Do not tell me she's the Blackened. Please, no. Could that be when... Which should mean that Kyoko... He killed someone. For me?
That's enough. The time for idle chatter is over. A verdict is close at hand.
Wait, I'm warning you. Don't make this mistake. I'm not the killer.
I knew you were stubborn, but this is just getting ridiculous.
Really? But you should know better than anyone I didn't do it. Can you tell me I'm wrong?
I should know?
What? Yaki should know better than anyone. That's right, because he has the Wookiee! She couldn't get in!
Those words you just spoke. What do you mean?
He could have planted the
Exactly
key!
what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me!
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory earlier. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker, and then left the locker key in my own room, correct? But could I really have done that?
Alright, I missed it. I was too caught up in it. But yes, there we go. Which would mean...
Those words you just said.
Exactly. I'm not, but you should understand.
Byakuya.
Master would never.
There's proof that you... Is that what you're...
You stated that you said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker, and then left the locker key in my own room, correct? But could I really have done that?
Alright, there we go.
Those words you just...
Exactly. I'm not, but
You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me!
There's proof that you aren't the culprit.
Yes, indeed.
No, that's wrong. If I'm right, Kyoko wouldn't have been able to get into her room.
why not?
Because she had given her room key to Byakuya.
I see. So that's what you meant. And if I had the key to your room...
Then obviously I had no way of getting in. Without my room key, I couldn't have possibly put the locker key in there myself. Am I wrong?
It would appear not.
Then you're finally starting to understand.
Wait. No, she's lying. No, that's not actually true. She had a way of getting in. The secret tool. Which can open any lock in the school. No! There was a clear contradiction in what Kyoko just told us. An obvious lie. But this isn't just like her. Try and save herself such a desperate lie. Does she really feel that threatened? Because she's the killer? Or is it something else? Was there some deeper meaning hidden in what Kyoko had said earlier? If you vote for me, and I die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever. Which is why I can't let that happen. This is a trap the mastermind has laid for us. The mastermind's trap. The mastermind is trying to trap Kyoko? But what if that's not really true? What can I do? What should I do? What should I... The mastermind's trap? The victim was Mukuro? And Kyoko killed her? What does Kyoko really know? What am I supposed to do? Kyoko's lie. I'm the only one who knows it's a lie. I'm the only one who can expose it. But who can I trust? What am I supposed to do? The mastermind's trash. If you spend all your time trying to avoid danger, you'll never move forward. We know the danger, but if the risk means solving the mystery, we have no choice. Am I wrong? What do I do? I have said right here and now whether or not to expose Kyoko's lie. Pursue the lie, let it go, run away. We're not gonna expose any lies today. I've made my decision. I have to believe in Kyoko. There's no way she would kill someone. There has to be some secret here. It's nothing to do with the mastermind's trap that Kyoko mentioned.
Well, does no one have a rebuttal? Have you decided to accept her assertion as fact? I see. So you still refuse to accept it. I suppose we have to admit that Kyoko didn't put the locker key in her room. That it was someone else.
But who else could it have been?
I mean, Byakuya had a room key, right?
You! What are you trying to imply?
But of course, I have an alibi. From nighttime on, I was with you guys the entire time. I couldn't possibly have killed anyone, or put the key in Kyoko's room.
Well, someone had to put the key in there.
There's only one other possibility I can think of. Someone could have had the key on them, then once they arrived at the scene, pretended to find it there.
What?
Oh, no.
It had to be Makoto, right?
No!
I don't see any other option.
Wait a second. You've got it all wrong. Let's think about it one more time. There's gotta be a hidden side to this case.
Huh? A hidden side?
First of all, there's something off about this entire trial. You all see it, don't you? Mukuro, who we didn't even know existed, suddenly shows up dead. And then we're thrown into a trial. And Kyoko even said, it's a trap the mastermind set for us. So that's why this has to be...
Okay, time's up!
Wait, no, that's never happened before.
Huh?
Time's up! Class trial's all over! Everyone can stop talking now!
What? Time's up?
That has never happened before.
What do you mean time's up? There's no time's up. Since when have we...
It's because you were late, so we had to push back the start time. So then, it's time for voting time, okay? Everyone, please vote using the lever in front of you!
Voting time?
No! No, do not vote for us, please. We are not the culprits. Please don't vote for us.
Now, who will be chosen as the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? Hey, hold on! What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
No, stop. Do not vote for us, please. And they did it. No! No, we're spotless. We didn't harm anyone. No, stop. What? You think I'm the killer? Sorry, man.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. It's all your fault. Everyone, you're wrong. You got it all wrong. I didn't do it.
Yes, indeed!
Good job, everyone. Good job.
Yep.
Yeah, they got it right. No, I know that's not true. None of this makes any sense. This whole trial doesn't make any sense.
Hey!
It makes perfect sense!
She
It's the same as always, just like all the other class trials, I'm gonna end it the same way.
thrills, chills, kills!
Time for your heart-pounding, positively thrilling punishment. Wait, why do I... Oh, she's pissed. She's pissed. Kyoko!
I don't expect you to forgive me. I know this is all my fault.
Kyoko, what the heck, man? Kyoko.
Let's give it everything we've got! It's punishment time!
No, it's not punishment time. Take your hand off that hammer right against it. No. No. What the heck? Ah, crap. It's like that scene at the beginning of the game, the intro screen. I knew it meant something. Oh no. Aw, crap. This is where the series ends, I guess. Because it's game over for us. Oh no! Oh, but seriously, he's teaching them about that right before they die. That's not fair. That's not fair. And yes, I know what that is, so don't bother denying it. Oh, that's gotta suck. Not knowing what's gonna happen. Oh. Wait. Oh, Toriko! Oh. Oh. Protagonist powers, boy! Yeah! Oh, dude. What? What's this? What's going on? Hey, was that? Yeah, it has to be.
This
Alter Ego. Alter Ego? Is this some stupid virus from that stupid guy? He must have finally invaded my network! Damn it all to hell! I don't believe this!
It would seem...
It seems he finally made a miscalculation. Oh, he miscalculated from the very beginning.
What the heck?
What was that?
In other words...
What I'm saying is, you shouldn't have underestimated us. Why? You sound like you've already won. I barely felt a thing. It was a pinch. Pinch! The stupid virus is gone now, got it? And so is Makoto. They think I could smash him flat, so you're never gonna see him again. To waste away on a garbage student hit in a way is even an even better special punishment. But it's still not enough. I'm still not satisfied. I'm still gonna bring despair to the rest of you. Bring despair to the entire world. Gone. Hey Kyoko, what's the meaning of all this? Just what the hell is going on?
Calm down.
It's okay, we're not the ones being trapped this time. Huh?
In other words...
Now it's the mastermind that's ensnared.
What did you say?
What are you talking about?
So...
You'll understand soon enough. Very soon indeed. The massive high school towers all over the villains in the bustling urban area. Like the school stands out in the center of the entire world. Havoc Academy. It brings in top students from every field imaginable. Government-funded school of privilege. They say that if you come here and manage to graduate, you'll be set for life. With hundreds of years in the tradition since the cream of the crop of the workforce every year, it was built to raise hope in the nation's future. We expect to be pretty fair game. Why are we going through this again? There are 2 things you need to attend this school. 1, you have to be already attending high school. 2, you already have to be the very best at what you do. No ordinary student can live there. The only way is to be scouted by the school itself. And standing there at the gate of the ultimate school filled with the ultimate students was me. What? Where am I? I woke up with my head resting atop a hard wooden desk. My body felt heavy. It wouldn't be weird for me to zoke off in the middle of some boring class or whatever. What was I doing asleep here just now? It wasn't any classroom I've ever been in before. What the heck is going on? Oh, we're still alive! Finally. I could finally feel my mind and body starting to come back together, and then I was awake. Or was this just another dream? A dream inside a hopeless nightmare. No, this isn't a dream. I could tell because the stench invading my nostrils was too powerful for a dream. What an awful smell. I was in a vast, dark cabin with a bare scent of light seeping in. Ashes piled high across all the area. It was some kind of underground garbage pit. Heck of a situation to find myself in. But that was just the beginning of my problems. Was I going to be stuck in here until I wasted away and died? No, I can't let that happen. Not after what my good friend went through to save me. I remember all too well what had happened. Alter Ego saved me, and he used up the last little bit of his strength to do this. So I can't give up now. For myself and for my friends. With that, my pursuit of survival began. First, we start looking for a way out of here. Alright, with that, we're gonna end this thrilling episode, and, well, we're gonna see what happens next time. If you guys want to see the next episode right away, please give this video a like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you all in the next episode. Bye guys!